What'd you make of that last night?
It was special, Look, it's got you guys talking. That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's right.
It was something that surprised a lot of people, no doubt about it. Look, it's a really poor American team right now, but that's their problem. Let's enjoy Canada for a while. And it's a team that I've had the fortune to cover, and see go through the dark days of the last, decade up to the 2017, 2018 time when John Herdman came across, and a lot of skeptics about that. Really, going on a path from the women's game to the men's game that is really unprecedented in this global sport. And they had a difficult Gold Cup, and obviously leading 2-0 in the quarterfinals against Haiti, and then conceding 3 goals in the second half, and more, again, negativity around the team. And are they really ready to step up? Everything that I've been told and seen for myself covering the team is that the camaraderie is special. It is unique. There's a good young group of players that were buying in and they had belief, but they still needed a moment. They still needed a game, a reference point to say, yes, we are as good or better than many people thought. So they can. That's what that was last night. It's that reference point going forward now that, the guys that are there next to you, Brian, can speak a lot more about this than me, but in professional sports, you need those moments to galvanize those guys together, particularly in the international game where they all go away now for the clubs and then don't see each other again for another 3 weeks and then come back to play them again next month in November. But that group of players, there's something special brewing. Let's just see if they can get to 2022.
Yeah, well, exactly. What does this mean for the World Cup? Like, what does that win in particular mean in terms of their chances and the road between now and actually qualifying in 2022?
Well, there's 2 different ways of looking at it. Emotionally, it means a lot. There's no doubt about it. We just talked about that belief and the ability to be able to beat a team like the United States at home. That is the exact game that you can duplicate to think about what it's going to be like if they get into the World Cup qualifying hex. And those are the games you're going to have to win if you're going to become one of the best 3 teams in CONCACAF to represent CONCACAF at the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. There's 2 different factors away from the emotional thing for the stats way. Just to give a very quick synopsis of that, there's 2 different ways that you can qualify. You can either be in one of the top 6 ranking teams for CONCACAF come the draw, next summer, and then you will be in a group of 6 to try and get into the top 3 to try and automatically qualify. Or there's a different route. And if you're not in that top 6, you're basically with everybody else in CONCACAF. You've got to try and get through 14 games to battle through a number of different playoffs, which is a harder route, but against more, inferior opposition. But right now, they've made it to the top 6. They're 6th right now, and that's something they didn't think that was going to happen a few months ago. So it enhances their chances for sure, but still a long way to go.
KJ, what makes John Herdman a good manager? Women's, men's, whatever. Like, what's his secret?
Well, he's got an incredible, meticulous work ethic. There's no doubt. Everybody you speak to on the women's side, the men's side, the dedication that he's got. And he's admitted to me, Mike, he's told me that, he is an international coach. He understands that the responsibilities that he places on these players at an international level is you just can't do that at the club game.
Right.
The amount of time that he has in between games to be able to put together meticulous planning, to be able to know exactly what he wants from those players. But he also galvanizes human beings. He installs them with great belief. I was with TFC today and I had a good chat with Jonathan Osorio, who obviously plays for TFC this weekend against DC for the playoff game on TSN. And he told me, look, we're a family. Everybody is buying in, and it's all down to him. All down to him right now. Look, he inherited a team full of scars, but also a team that was young and impressionable. And you talk about Davies, and Jonathan David's another one. And the thing about young players is that they want to buy in. And look, the skeptics were there, but they're not there now. He's got these players buying in. As I said, tactically, he's proven a lot, and he's dedicated to his work ethic. So, he's just that kind of personality that brings a lot of people together and gets behind him.
With Kristian Jack, I've been waiting my whole life for a soccer player, a Canadian, to make it big on the international stage, not in MLS, not playing for TFC, someone that's in Europe and is a legitimate stud, like someone that European football fans know of and know who he is and know what he's going to bring. And I'm hoping that Davies could be that guy. I mean, we were joking out of the gate, but he lit up MLS as a teenager. Now he's playing in Europe. What's the ceiling for this kid?
Yeah, it's a great question. You know, the ceiling, let's just be right there and honest, the ceiling can be the very top. You know, when you get to go to play for Bayern Munich at 18, you know, they're not just signing him because they think that there's something potentially could happen. They genuinely believe that he could be a legitimate star. Now, FIFA, for whatever you make about individual awards, they announced this week that their Golden Boy Awards, which is basically the best 20 players in their mind right now under 21. And to see a Canadian on that list, to your point, Brian, is unique. It's eye-popping. You know, for those of us who've covered the game, you've got a Canadian on there, and you're talking about teenagers around the game. Some players like João Felix, who went to Atletico Madrid for $126 million. You know, this is the audience that he's being grouped with right now. Now, I think a little bit of the hype machine has gone a bit too far this year. And I have to say that before yesterday, I would have made the case that you couldn't guarantee that he was going to play every game for Canada. His performances have dropped over the last few games for me, and may be directly impacted by the fact that he isn't playing enough. He isn't playing enough minutes at Bayern Munich right now. It's one thing to be within all those legends and world-class stars every day at a coaching environment and training, but he isn't getting enough competitive minutes. But yesterday, in the game when he needed to show that he could deliver, he was the difference maker. He was played further forward by John Herdman. He was allowed to be that quick player in the transition game, and he exploded, and he used his pace and his qualities, and he was there. And look, you know, talking to him last night, you know, you could see it shining brightly off his face, the enthusiasm that he's got there, and I'm with you. You know, it's great to see that, and we just hope that that trend continues to be going in the right direction, and that he doesn't plateau and he becomes a superstar in the world game.